something better than this to follow, but if you all would take your seats or find a place for dinner, we'll get on with the show tonight. Where's Paul Messinio? Paul, come on up here a minute. Paul Messinio to us in 1957 and Dr. Messinio to us in 1987, but still a good friend and class member, who's going to give us the invocation.
I'll let you know this is very difficult to do, particularly as I walked in here and saw a picture of me in a dress. Let us pray. Our Father, we gather here this evening, thanking you for the adventure of life that we have had, as we have lived together in high school. We have separated and gone our various paths. And tonight, for one brief moment, we come together. We thank you for the experience, for the adventure. It's been exciting, and we look forward to not only reminiscing of the past, but having a nostalgia for the future. We ask you to be with us now as we break this bread and as we celebrate together. We ask this in your name. Amen.
I'd like to introduce now Doris Biggs. Doris, come on up here, don't walk away.
Okay, we have a letter from Assemblyman Richard Polanco to the class of 1957 as a representative of Eagle Rock High School in the California State Assembly. I extend greetings as you celebrate 30 years of friendship, memories, and hope. Eagle Rock High, and indeed Eagle Rock, is a unique community among many in Los Angeles. The pride you share in your alma mater as well as in this community demonstrates the quality of the education you receive and the value that you place in the relationships you have developed here. My best wishes for a night of remembrance and celebration. Sincerely, Richard G. Polanco, Assemblyman, 55th District. I also have a note. Congratulations on this joyous occasion. You have our best wishes for your celebration, and we send our hopes for future happiness and reward. Nancy and Ronald Reagan.
Maybe our famous Mayor Richard Paul here as he lights the cake. In a few moments, your dessert will be served. Richard, what are you doing for us? Tilt it up? I'll tilt it up.
Can you see it? Class of 57 Imperial. Big reaction. Round of applause.
During our planning meetings in the last several months at Esteline's home, who we'll talk about more for the great job that she and all the other people involved have done, we had to come up with a fitting person to be a master of ceremonies for the program that's about to really get underway. We really haven't got started, so you're in for a great treat. You know, one of our great class leaders, classmates, good friend, guy we all know as Richard Paul, the mayor of Carter Country, right? And a few other places you may or may not want to admit. The fact that he likes to do Big Mac commercials, you know, so what? It's really a pleasure this time for me to introduce a guy who's put his heart into this program tonight and who has orchestrated so much of what you're about to see, and one who you've seen on the screen and you're going to see live in living color tonight. Richard, come on up here. I have a lot of things to say, but I know this is the last one.
Thank you, Neil. Hello there. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry, I just see cameras and I tend to move towards them. Thank you, Neil.
is, wasn't he the guy who always had his head under the hood of a car? He was a rodent. Any other rodents here tonight? You guys are such good mechanics. How come you never seem to be able to fix your cars? I don't know. Tim Alexander decided his seats weren't good enough, so he's right down here. Tim, it's good to see you again. You see, Tim and I were elected student body presidents, and we each served for 1 semester. But Neil Johnson will always be our class president. We're stuck with this turkey for life. It was very nice seeing Paul Messinio, and we appreciated his invocation. Who would have thought that he would end up looking like an opera star, and I would end up looking like a TV evangelist. Have you tithed lately? I received cash payments. I mean, I prayed to look like Mel Gibson, and I ended up like Jerry Falwell. I swear. It's a real pleasure seeing you all here tonight. 30 years, a landmark in our lives. I had a dream about tonight. I dreamed that I was the only one who got fat and gray, and that you would all look exactly as you did in 1957. And as I look out there tonight, I can see that my dream was wrong, and I'm really relieved. I guess it can be said now that we are middle-aged. But after all, who do you know? How many people do you know that live to be 96? Gee, we were nice kids. Gee, we even said gee. We were innocent, optimistic, hopeful. We thought we'd live forever. We had amazing vitality. We had sexual frustration. It wasn't all bliss, you know. Remember the questions we asked ourselves? What are those people doing over there? What? We're going to get Mr. Reinhardt on you people over here if you don't quiet down now. Because he doesn't have his title tonight, but he can break a bottle. Remember the questions we asked ourselves in high school? Will I be liked? Will I get into this club I want to join? Will she go all the way? In my case, never, but will I catch the winning touchdown pass and be a star, a hero, or will I let it slip from my grasp and be a bum? Do I have a future? Will I go to college? Am I ever going to be somebody? Will I drop the baton in the 880 relay? What am I going to do on Saturday night? Will I ever be happy? Will my face clear up? Will I ever see my friends again after graduation? Well, you are tonight, huh? Will I ever get out of Eagle Rock? Do I really want to leave Eagle Rock? Will I ever get answers to these questions? When will Richard stop asking me dumb questions? It's driving me crazy. Well, we've probably answered most of those questions by now. Only those of you who are single at the moment will be asking your date, will she go all the way? For many, the question has changed to, I hope she isn't expecting much tonight after all this wine. I did seem to strike a response for it. If we haven't figured out yet what's going to make us happy, we better hurry up. Time certainly does fly by, doesn't it? Most of us have learned by now that happiness isn't dependent on big dramatic events in our lives, such as having a love affair with Dolly Parton, or becoming a big success and having Robin Leach visit our house on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, or by fulfilling our destiny. But rather that activity makes us happy. Happiness is finding out what we like to do, how we like to spend to discovering the people we want to spend it with. We've learned a lot about the world in the last 30 years and a lot about ourselves. We let it all hang out in the 60s, and then we tried to stuff it back in the 70s. And now we're in the 80s, and we're approaching the 90s, and we have discovered that we know about as much about the future as we did in the 50s, which is nothing. We've spent decades trying to keep our parents happy, our spouses happy, our bosses happy, our customers happy, our children happy, the IRS happy. But we sometimes forget trying to make ourselves happy. I spent years in graduate school in psychology trying to figure out what makes people happy, and or at least makes them sane. And no matter how many theories I encountered, most of them seem to agree that we must work and love and come to know and love and accept ourselves if we're ever to be happy. And part of that self-knowledge is knowing our roots. This is a great segue. So, here we are back with the people who were devastatingly important to us in our youth. No matter who we have become, we want to step back into the past for one night to see old friends again. How much have they changed? How much have we changed? How many of you saw the movie Peggy Sue Got Married? Yeah? I love that movie. Imagine going back in time to high school, knowing what we know now. Even ended up with that same guy with the weird voice. Peggy Sue, I love you so much. Wait a second. Even knowing that their marriage would fall apart in the future. Well, at least we can do something like that tonight. We will remember those glorious, painful, sweet days of our youth. When Esteline sent me the invitation to this reunion several months ago, I had mixed feelings. I'd come to the 20th, but I skipped the 25th. There was something about the number 30 that grabbed my attention. This is a memorable anniversary in our lives. At 30 years out of high school, let's face it, the road ahead is shorter than the one behind. If we thought that our high school years were hard at the time, and we did, we most likely have had many harder times since. If we had disappointments that seemed monumental then, most likely our disappointments since have been tougher. If we had joys then, and there must have been some, I just can't remember them at the moment, our later joys have been even more fulfilling. Perhaps it's because we're more mature now, and we're able to put things in perspective. We know, because we have done it before, that we can weather the storm. But in our youth and inexperience, things that happened to us then seemed huge to us, more dramatic, more tragic, more exciting, more everything. Maybe because we had little control over our lives then, maybe because we were new, and things were all happening to us for the first time. Maybe because things seemed confusing or beyond our understanding. We were surely more self-conscious then, and we in this room were more important to each other then than the people that we work with now. There are people here tonight that we wanted to communicate with 30 years ago, but were too shy or immature to open ourselves up to. When we were planning for this occasion, Bruce Stever and I talked about how there were things that we were never able to say then to someone that we would like to say now. And this is the night to do it. There may be words of thanks, of appreciation, of luck, I don't know. I did notice, however, that some of you married folks have come without your spouses. Who knows what you may have in mind tonight? Love springs eternal. 2 years ago, my mother re-met a man that she was interested in 55 years ago, but hadn't spoken to in the interim. And a year ago, they were married. For others, we may have things to say that have nothing to do with romance. I have a few things to say privately to people, but I think I will start publicly. To Barry Smith, who when he was at Eagle Rock Elementary School was and whom I avoided at Eagle Rock High because I was scared of him, Barry, I am happy to say to you that tonight I am no longer afraid of you. You may ask why, Barry, because tonight I'm carrying a gun. There's something I've always wanted to say to Dr. Charles Sutcliffe, who I'm delighted to see here tonight. Remember, Charlie? I can call him Charlie now. Remember when I was student body president and you called me into your office and told me that it was my job to tell Jack Meek to stop necking with Gracie Smith on the senior lawn? Remember Jack and Gracie? They lay out there on that lawn giving a new meaning to the word togetherness. And it was still in the 50s, for God's sake. I mean, they were really ahead of their time. Well, I was really embarrassed. I didn't know what to say. I was sure that such tasks weren't in the job description for a student body president. But of course, I didn't know what his job description was then. And he was the authority figure, so with great reluctance and mortification, I spoke to Jack, who was a full head taller and considerably more mature. He may have been skinny, but I was talking about his woman. Ooh, he was really pissed. He said, none of your business. Well, I couldn't argue with that. And he said, you and I aren't good enough friends for you to talk to me like that. I couldn't argue with that. And then he told me, you're just jealous that you don't have a cute girlfriend like Gracie that you can neck with on the senior lawn. Well, I couldn't argue with that. So, Mr. Sutcliffe, tonight I want to tell you that I think that was a lousy thing to do to me. You pushed an unpleasant job, a job that you were very well paid to do. You pushed this job off on a callow youth. And that reminds me of the man who gave me the term callow youth. He used to refer to me all the time. My VTED English instructor, the man in the ice cream suit, Bob Rivera. Do you remember, Bob, when you ended my childhood at the age of 14 and launched me into the world of adult competition? Actually, I wanted Gene Bailey to end my childhood. And although there seemed to be a few hints in that direction, she just wouldn't do it. But that's another story. But back to Mr. Rivera. I'll never forget when your words to me. Oh, Richard, no, listen, I want you to enter this little American Legion speech contest. Now, all you have to do is give a 10-minute speech on the U.S. Constitution, and then you have to be able to speak extemporaneously on any article or amendment to the Constitution. And you have a whole week to do it. Well, I did it, all right, but I failed miserably. Oh. But despite that, I kept on speaking with Bob's coaching. What I want to say to you tonight, Bob, is you are the one teacher who had the greatest influence on my life. Your encouragement and your belief in me helped convince me that I could accomplish anything I set my mind to. Thank you, Bob. And to Mr. Sutcliffe and Mr. Rivera, thanks also for helping me to learn that someday I would have to begin saying no to people. No is a magic and wonderful word. Why didn't I say it to Esty when she asked me to MC tonight? Perhaps many of you are asking the same question. The answer is easy, because I wanted to be here and be a part of this program. I want to say that working on this has been a lark. The committee has met several times over the months with frequent phone calls in between. Now, the committee is kind of a sample of our class as a whole. And I was really curious to see how much people were the same and how much they changed. Now, the people on the committee were great. It was S.E. Cephas, Barry Smith, Jim Moles, Anita Whitty, Diane Beal, Neil Johnson, Ed Stibbe, and a bunch of others. Stibbe. What I observed in meeting these people again was that they were all essentially the same people that we were then. Maybe we've learned a few things and have grown some. Perhaps we're a little bent by the often hostile and disappointing world that we've lived in the last 30 years. But freed from the shackles of our uncertainty, our fear of looking stupid, otherwise I wouldn't be here, our conventionality, our need to hide behind shallow roles, in our fear that nobody would like us as we were, our anxiety about relations with the opposite sex, well, something's never changed. But we now are freer to reveal the person that we actually are, and I congratulate you. Look around you tonight. We are the bold ones. Think of our classmates who would have been here, except that they didn't lose that 30 pounds in time for this reunion. We had the courage to come anyway. Folks, hold on to your hats or your toupees. Tonight will be an experience. Let me begin by introducing our reunion organizer. I won't say that she is tireless, because I know that she's pooped. She also didn't get to eat dinner because she's feverishly doing something there behind me. She was determined to locate everybody, and once she found us, she kept sending letters until we broke down and came. A special thanks to S.E. Cephas. And my other helper tonight, as we go through this illustrious crowd, is the lady who put on the last reunion and has been a great help this time, Diane Beal. Diane. All right, here we go now. I've done my short speech. Now we're going to go into the audience and we're going to meet some of our class members. Huck Oakley, where are you? Huck? There he is. We're going to Huck. Now I understand, Huck, that you were one of the first patients of one of our class members who was an optometrist. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And
17 years ago, this guy gave me this pair of glasses.
well, they're lovely, aren't they?
They still don't fit right.
Thank you, Huck. Tumultuous applause. All right. Who wants this? Tom Lynch, one of our class.
And,
You went back to him.
my golly, what did they get?
That's loyalty. Isn't that class loyalty? Thank you, Huck.
These are the same things he issued to me, okay?
Still cheap. Isn't that wonderful? How's about a new pair of glasses? That's great. Thank you. We have a number of professionals in our class who are meeting with you have warranty. And we got sunglasses.
The guy offered me $75 for these in Lake Tahoe last year.
Why have Bruce. Say, Bruce Receiver, folks. Bruce is another professional member of our class. Tell him what you do. Take my mic away.
I would end it on it.
Oh.
No.
Isn't that right? In our class. Very good, thank you. Next, we have Pat McIntyre. Pat? Oh, here we go. Isn't this getting exciting? I feel like still talking to him. Just a little slower. Yes. Pat, hello.
Well, you know, Richard,
Yes.
dentists aren't the only ones who drill, you know.
Is that right?
Right, and what we plan to do tonight for you, because we have had no time to practice, we haven't even been together yet. But
Excuses. Go ahead.
we're going to show you what we used to do, and then kind of switch into something that we always wish we could have done.
Ooh. It's getting better all the time, isn't it? All right. There they are. Come on, girls. Stand up. Keep going.
Elmar Marie Sloan Rooney. Estlin Stebbins. And Juanita Whitty Reader.
Yeah, let's give him a hand. Now where's Vivian? Vivian Maino. Matsunamoe. Where are you, Vivian? There we go. Excuse me. Well, hi. How are you?
Oh, it's 5 days.
What do you have to tell us about the mosh?
Well, I think I got this honor because I'm the only one that remembers what colors we were.
Yeah?
Yes, blue and I think so.
Blue and I think silver when they come. Yeah.
But I had to look out who we were voting in.
Those little gray cells are going, I think.
I've got it right here. We have members of our group, this group actually. Jerry Brickhouse.
Jerry.
Reese Guyton. Shirley Hill. Patricia Lee. Alex Siegel. Pat McIntyre. And I have to read this little part of this, okay? This was a big honor, I think. You know, we really worked hard to get into Mount Conway. And then I looked at what we did.
What do you do?
Lots of Conway. What? Beyond time. Clear. I mean, this was an honor. Clear the hall by the party bell.
Ooh.
How friends go around.
Ooh.
Sit alone and close the doors. I mean, this is what we worked hard.
God, that was a tough beginning in life, wasn't it? Did they have to go on and do other things in life too after that? Nah. What's that? Yes, Juanita. No, they didn't have to arrange. Mrs. Rose is here, don't get the man in trouble. Juanita, where are you? Straight to the center now. Where is it? Oh, gee. You're right.
Well, there goes the show, folks.
The new product. What happened, Juanita?
This is for you.
Well, it seems like one night, Rose Canale and I were out at Bob with nothing much to do. We thought Mr. Sutcliffe probably didn't have much to do either. So we called the fire department and told them that the house was on fire. I'm not sure if it was, but I think they went there.
You remember that? So, Juanita, in remembrance of this, we have this little gift for you. Thank you, Juanita. You know, we missed something. We missed Jack. No? What would a game be without a rousing cheerleader? Tonight, folks, we have one. One wouldn't come, one wouldn't get up here, and here is, let's hear it for him, Jack Shooty. I gotta tell you, I have a daughter that is a freshman in high school, and she happens to go to a school that has a mascot they're called the Eagle. And we live about 3 miles from the high school stadium where they play their football. And we can hear them yelling for the Eagles at our home when their football team plays. Why don't we see if we can yell loud enough tonight that my family in Richmond, Virginia can hear us spelling out Eagle. All right? And you guys can do that. I don't know. IT. We're just going to go for an Eagle. And you follow us, and we'll do it. All right? Ready? Let's get with it. Eagle!
take a nap. Thank you. Jared. Good. Great. Phil told me. Phil said she wasn't going to come up here. Thank you, Phil. Great. Okay, what's next? Oh, I have a lady in the balcony. No, I have a gentleman in the balcony. Oh, it's Art. Art Shively. How you doing? What are you wearing?
This is a beautiful t-shirt from high school basketball.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember, you know, some of the other sports teams had big seasons. I don't remember you winning a lot of games. Well, what was your main problem, would you say?
You ever heard the expression, nice guys finish last? Yeah, I'm glad the nicest guy there wants to hold you around here.
See, that's disappointing.
Anyway, I'd like to introduce these gentlemen to you if I may, all right? They have a man who call Adams. Next we have Neil Magic Johnson.
Sounds good to me. Limbered up tonight. So we'd like to bring out the nurses now. Would the nurses please come out? Oh, there you are. Hi. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Where were you when I was in high school? Are you ready? That was what I usually got. All right. Okay. Now, since Skip and Wally were just up here, we'll come over and start with you. Where's Skip? Where are you? Oh, they're right there. How convenient. I gave you my glasses. Where are you? I already gave you my glasses back. Now, you fellas, yeah.
One thing I want to say is that Pat McIntyre looked great.
Actually, I'd rather talk about the night. I'd rather talk about the election that was held at Iraq, where you and Tom Napier, by a landslide, clobbered Wally and me.
In that case, that's right. And Richard, you hit the nail on the head. We want to taunt you.
I didn't get any taller, though.
I never really knew Wally very well, and after that election, there was sort of a common bond, and we were very good friends for probably 6 months after we graduated.
Nixon and Agnew feel the same way. We didn't mind losing, but we came in last.
I also learned a little known fact after Watergate. I didn't realize that your name Richard was your uncle Richard Nixon. I know there were some dirty tricks involved in the election, but we haven't found what they were.
I did promise something. I did promise that we had Larry Augustine, and we had a great noon rally, and we said we were going to have music and rallies, and it never seemed to happen after that campaign. Early campaign, broken promise, but oh, good.
Well, that's all we have to say about that. The nights in attendance here are...
Stand up, guys. Let's get the nights up.
Well, they don't know who they are. So Dean Baldwin, 440 guy.
Dean?
Pete Black. Norm Brewer. You guys remain standing. Norman Brewer. Where's Norm? Right here. There he is. Same shoulders. Bruce Kativer. There's Bruce. Paul Monsinio. One of the things about Paul Monsinio that we might notice that we're just remembering at the table was that we had an initiation tonight where we had to run up and down Fargo Hill. And during this initiation, Paul got going from the top of Fargo Hill and he couldn't stop him.
Ron Jorgensen stopped.
So Ron Jorgensen,
The rest of us split for Highland Park.
Paul, do you remember that? Tom Napier. The other guy is taken. There he is. He's the only reason you won, you know.
Another winner. Stand up, Tom. Winner.
Get out of here, Tom. And this guy, Wally Riddle, Barry Smith. All right, Barry.
Hey, no wonder you're always afraid of Barry Smith, because Barry Smith, everybody was afraid of Barry Smith because he wore a lavender suit. He had a lavender suit and a yellow shirt with a tie. I mean, my God, anybody can get afraid of Barry Smith. Colorblind. And he was he had red hair. I mean, he was red hair. Well, red and lavender. They got
He's definitely not an interior decorator. Bill Wood. And the last, Danny Woodward. First name.
Thank you. The next year for the night. Okay.
This is something which I don't remember.
Didn't we all?
About this whole thing was, they told me I had 1 minute, that you were going to be asking me for 1 minute. Number one, I've never spoken for just 1 minute. Number two, I was supposed to be funny, and it takes 2 or 3 minutes for me to get funny. So I will just go right into introducing my group.
these years, some little secret you want to reveal for the first time. I'm looking for you. Yeah. Good, Martine. Pennsylvania?
Martin, I remember one night
Say that, Martine.
we were at Bob, and I was wondering if you could tell me the difference between this and this.
Come out here on the floor and show her. I don't think you can see that. Get out here in the light. Come on, Martine, come out here. They were at Bob's restaurant. Show us again. Do you know the difference between these two things?
My memory, yeah. Do you know the difference between these two things? Yeah. Because we went into Bob's and we took a donut out of the cake and put the dog food in the cake. Well, the next week sat there for a couple hours and the people would come up marching and they'd look in there and they'd
Ron, I don't see any red. You see red? Who's first off here here? Saying blaming it on somebody who isn't here. Is that good citizenship? Let this poor lady sit down. Go on. Don't you hate it when your friends have good memories? What's next? Over here. Oh! This is Terry Stewart. Stand up, Terry. Terry, you look exactly like you did in high school.
Thank you.
They told me that I had to say that.
You're brief before
Did I get it wrong?
you might find out if any of the baseball players in the audience that I didn't get a hatch to.
Where are the baseball players? Get up, guys.
Form. Here we go. We got some coming up right now. I'm going to hit a few fly balls. Well, wait a minute. Big bat here. So, we're going to have better
Mr. Hanna is now going to blow the whistle on the entire class. Terry, come on out here. Come on.
Thank you all for inviting me. That's the most important thing I can say tonight. Being one is an important thing. I feel one as I do. A little bit white and I vote tonight. About the class, I was talking to stay in the phone. Anything might have happened in the class you remember. Or anything in the class you think you might remember about the class. And I just passed in this was a passing thought, but I remember one particular thing. Dan Moore, remember Dan Moore? That's the social studies teacher. One of them guy, a very handsome individual. And he was teaching senior problems with Mr. Nance and so forth, and they were discussing, what they were discussing, I don't know, but there's something about heavy and light petting. And of course, the 50s were a very innocent era, at least as far as I was concerned. I know they aren't today, but for tonight. But one girl, she denies having said it, but the definition given to Dan Moore and to Steve Nance was that heavy petting was above the waist. No, light petting was above the waist and heavy petting below. And so I asked Dan, I said, well, did you have to explain that? He said, hell no, he's asked it out of the room. And that's what old Steve Nance would have done too. But I think what a stay had reference to, though, is the fact that I taught a B7 class, well, the few I taught when I was there, I had 10th grade English, mostly in the 12th grade and so forth, but I had a very innocent little group. There was Lance Anderson, you all know, and Jack Schutte, and some wonderful people in there, and there was I hope Roger, I'm not saying this wrong, Roger Sumner, and I think it was Lou Orsatti. Might have been Huck Oakley, I don't know, but anyway, we were giving a U.S. history theme, with a combination of history and English, and so the theme was the Pilgrim's Day. And so this girl made the little pilgrim costumes and so forth. Jack City's from back in that area now. So anyway, it was summer, I hope, anyway, and Lou Orsatti said, well, we're going to make gunpowder. What a nice thing. Got the niter and what do they have, salties and all that crap together, you know. And it was very innocent. And we had a open house that night. So we had a dress rehearsal. So we had a pie pan on the desk, and on my desk there, and I think Bob Kelly was maybe Charlie Sutton, but I forget. But anyway, it just must have been Charlie. Anyway, I was trying to teach this from the principal because it was an explosive in the classroom. And I told the guy, take it easy for God's sake and don't mess around with it. So I was sitting there and asking for a match, and of course they knew I smoked, so I handed them a match. They had this pipe right there, and I wasn't even thinking. So next thing I know, it was this big phew, and all of the whole smoke all over the whole room. It was like a bomb had dropped or something like that. Anyway, if I'm wrong, Roger, I apologize for that. Maybe it was Huck Oakley or someone, or some other mean kid. What I heard about you guys was a wonderful class. I'll say one thing and I'll sit down. I went to Eagle Rock High School as a student, as most of you know probably, and I knew some of your parents, and I, of course, had your children in school, and they're all wonderful people and wonderful kids. And I have many, many fond memories, but this class was particularly impressed me. It's the first senior class I sponsored. I had A9s most of the time. And you people were, when I received the notice about the graduation, I thought back to my own 1937, 50-year reunion. And I didn't go to that. And partly because I didn't feel I was wanted. I didn't know too many people in high school. I was an athlete, I was in the drama society and a few things, but as Richard mentioned, you're still very immature sometimes. And I didn't know any girls and so forth, and I didn't go to that reunion. And I almost glad I didn't go when it came to this one. This is the highlight of my life, and I just love you all. Thank you very much. Getting old and so forth, he's young.
Oh, sadly.
He did it.
But I know about wild red berries. Oh, wild red berries,
There are too many other tales I could tell, but some aren't so good, so I don't think I'll tell them anyway.
We also would like to hear a few words from a man who has also brought his drums here, and later we're going to hear from that, Mr. Nash. Let's hear it.
Now we got
all these athletes standing up there. There's one guy at our table, Doctor, Jerry this. And we used to have a little pool, you know. What quarter in football would Jerry be kicked out? Basketball was always a little sooner. And here tonight, he can't even get in. Well, let's go on with the show. I'm really glad to be here. That annual that I have with this class, I get more highs and more lifts. I was just looking at that. I think than anything.
We're talking heavy trouble here. I guess it could be said that of some of the stunts you pulled, this one puts you at the head of your class. Is that right?
I seem to remember something along that line, and I was interested to hear Mr. Connors a few moments ago commenting about the 7th grade with the fireworks, Papa Oakley, Lou Orsatti, John Zanaro, and myself.
What a happy group.
Maybe what you can do is 4.5 pounds of calcium carbide in the toilet. Afterwards, oh, blew the whole damn school up there.
Did you find out who did it?
It took them about 7 or 8 minutes, I think.
You didn't try to blame it on Mr. Carr, did you?
No, then they caught us. The next morning there was a summons waiting for us. We knew there would be. But we were too dumb not to show up at school anyway. But we showed up and they caught us. And they assigned us to fire and safety.
For that reason, he got into the toga for this act of vandalism. We have a little award for you tonight. One thing to remember, that's the wrong time.
We're going to have to hear this for Huck and myself. I didn't do really good. Launch the ship.
Huck had a little bit less of the responsibility, and Huck was one of those things. A little quicker, Frank. Where are you? Let's get over here. Get this thing. Huck, over here. Huck. And we also want to make a contribution to Mr. Reinhardt, who had to meet out this penalty. Would you ladies like to take a little something?
And I would like to thank Mr. Reinhardt quite sincerely, because if he hadn't treated it the way that he did, I think that I know that I myself would probably wound up a hell of a lot different than I am. I don't know about whether how feeling the same way or not.
But that might have been a lot better, Jim. The dynamite also to Mr. Reinhardt.
Dynamite.
Fire and safety thing. Jackie Terry. Okay, here's Jackie. You're going the wrong way, I see. I don't know what to do when I get there. Do you have a story to tell us, Jackie? Oh. If you're not the perpetrator, then this means you're the victim. Yeah, what do you got?
When I first started looking for people, I had about 160 people to find, and I thought if I could just find half of them, I'd get down to 82. And Jackie helped me out a little bit, and I got her dad.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. No worries. Bill Wood, where are you, Bill? God, too old and too fat.
Well, when I got down to 44, Jim and I walked in coffee shop and found Bill Wood. Bill Wood got us down to 15 people that we can't find.
Congratulations. Good policeman out there finding our class members. Good job. Diane, what do you got? Oh, Gene, all right. Come on here, Gene. You got a seat. Remember sitting on top of the nursery building, announcing the track meets wearing white peggers, wearing black as the day went on. And we cheered one of the fastest guys around, Dean Baldwin.
I have something to ask Richard before we get on to the important task about the fabulous practice we had at Monroe High School, which was undefeated. But whether, he is amazing. Monroe? I have something. Somebody asked me today to ask you this very important question, but I got a hunch I know the answer. But there's a consensus of opinion that you always went through the halls with this rather interesting smile on your face. And,
Where else would I have a smile, Dean?
you want me to tell you? But can you tell us, please tell the audience, why were you always smiling?
I don't know, I imagine I was thinking about sex.
That's the answer. And the other comment, though, that I got, that I understand that you only get 20 probably, you had to wait 10 years to find out about. That's true.
We're here to talk about your glory, Dad.
We need the track team members out here, please, on the floor. Come on out, guys. Over here. Jordan said he wasn't going to come up here and do this. He's loving it. Neil, Danny, hey, can you believe this? 30 years ago, we were dynamite. Now, can you believe these guys? Can you believe Skip over here in his little shorts out there with this big ball trying to put that thing over there? But we did it. And very hurdling, and I could go on and on, but I'm going to tell you, we were really outstanding. We were undefeated. Everybody was terrified about it. And the nurses were waiting for us. They were waiting. We're not going to bring that up. I always thought that was real neat because, we didn't have real heavy tans. So what? We did. Now, all we're going to do tonight is after seeing these gentlemen, I think maybe we're going to have a relay, but we're not. We're just going to walk over to the chairs. Come on, guys. Walk over. Can do that. Now what? Take each other's hands. All right, that's our chief. All right, guys. Now, do you want me to stay out here and talk some more? That's it.
What you got? No, Diane has a little surprise for Esty, something that wasn't in the program. Come on, Diane, what's the deal? Stand still, Esty, we're circling.
I hate to upstage Richard. He gets real testy.
I don't want to get between you and the light because I cast a giant shadow.
We had breakfast after graduation at some place down at the beach. And of course, none of us were ever able to touch any liquor at all. So we were total teetotalers. If you remember, our class never, ever drank a bit of any alcohol of any kind. Your son is here too, badass, so he's having leave the room. We were having breakfast. We were having scrambled eggs that were about 42 days old. And by this time, we were all pretty rummy. All of a sudden, I look over, and Esteline is disappearing slowly underneath the table. She kept sinking and sinking. Jim sitting on one side of her, Jack Allman on the other side of her, and we both look under the table, and we say, Esteline, what's the matter? Esteline is passed out cold. She mumbles, my girdle is gone. Esteline, here is a new girdle. So it will never
goes. A little. Well, that's one way of looking at it. Marilyn Carriger, where are you? Marilyn remembers the Garcinettes. Come out here, Marilyn, where we can see you a little bit. What do you have to tell us about the Garcinettes, Marilyn?
Well, you asked me to tell you a secret.
A secret, right.
Yeah. And so I wanted to tell you about initiation, where they made us wear the smallest sweaters we owned and bring bobby socks and stuff in our bras. Whereupon they blindfolded us and took us to Hollywood, to a restaurant. And I remember making Cheryl Willie very mad because I knew the road. And she finally had me on the floor of the back seat of her car with someone sitting on me all the way to the restaurant.
They were trying to make you get lost. You didn't know where you were, but you knew.
But I knew because
You were counting the turns.
that's right.
I like a girl who knows the way to the restaurant, you know?
And the members of Garcinettes here are Nancy Anderson, Ellen Chapin,
Come on,
Pat Cooper, Janet Cox, Marilee DeGennaro, Shirley Hill, Carol Hall, Colleen Mathias, Maureen McShay, Judy Ostergaard, Judy Redding, Sally Siegel, Robin Webb, and Cheryl Willie.
Well, here's the girl. And didn't they turn out nice, huh? Oh, who? Jackie Terry. Stand up, Jackie. Judy, do you have something to tell me? Come over here.
Oh, you're okay.
Turn it back toward the light over here, Judy, and tell.
Well, I'm here, Richard invited me here tonight to represent a group that didn't get into the totem. We were the outsiders. Now, you may think because I have on the badge that I was an insider, but really I was an outsider, along with Richard, who was student body president. And I think that's probably why I became a high school counselor, because I never could figure out high school. So I keep trying. I haven't succeeded yet. Well, I did compensate for this feeling by becoming a scholar and taking drama. And I just wanted to tell you how I got into drama. I think I may have been a B7 or an A7, and I think I was sitting in the quad, and someone came up and said, "Hey, we're getting a new drama teacher, and he's really cute." This was enough for a B7. I was very shy, but I thought, gosh, maybe he's really cute. Maybe he really is. I'll take drama. So I signed up, and he really was cute. And he still is. And on a serious note, he was, as Richard said, a great inspiration to me and helped with my self-confidence. And here he is, Bob Rivera.
Hi, kind of people. I've been to hundreds of reunions, and I know that this is the best because my wife Barbara said to me, "This is the best reunion that you have ever dragged me to." It is fantastic what has happened here to Richard Paul and others like Bob Luber. He's there. There's Bob. What are you doing? Yeah. Bob Luber, he came into drama and it was just a joy. And all of you people, I had Diane Beagle sat in the front row in my English class. She hated my guts. She was a real fox. I gave her a good grade.
No,
sure get thirsty, you know, the beaches and that bar and everything else. And my Merc wouldn't work. And anyway, one time we borrowed his 55 Chevy, the two of us. We were on the park. You remember the playground next to school? Well, we were drinking Pepsi. A 55 six-cylinder automatic will do the greatest wheelies on wet grass. And people were saying, you know, we brought the car back and we said, Mr. Rivera, you know, there's a little problem. The cops was there, and we didn't really know exactly what to say. And he said, well, what did you say? And I said, well, it wasn't us. And he said, well, there's mud. I said, oh, no, I was just putting my teacher's car back. So anyway, Mr. Rivera backed us the whole thing up and everything else. And he said, oh, God, I hope, right? You know, the principal and everybody doesn't hear about it. And I said, my lips are sealed. So after that, I never really had a problem with tennis or anything. I had a good time with it.
Here's a little classic coat for you, Bob.
I want to say that when I was there, and Eagle Rock High, where I met my wife Barbara, and I used to probably give Charlie Sutcliffe a bad time, but I want to tell you this, that when Charlie Sutcliffe was president and our principal, and Bob Reinhardt was the vice principal, Eagle Rock High was the best high school in the city.
Yeah.
No question. You remember Mrs. Hatcher? Oh. Great math teacher. And I went into her room and I saw this little sign there. It was one sign under the clock that said, time will pass, will you? And then you said, another sign that said, what you will be, you are now becoming. What you will be, you are now becoming.
Repetitious?
You have now, because of what you were doing there at Eagle Rock, you've now become what you are today. What was Richard? He was acting on the stage. What's he doing? He's acting on the screen. And that's the same for everyone. It's what we were doing there, Charlie and Bob Reinhardt and Steve Nance and Terry Hodges and Scott Wilson. These were all great teachers, and I was so impressed when I transferred to Eagle Rock High that these people really cared about the students, and they cared about the future of the students, because our success, see, your success is our reward. That's what we live for, and that's what we live for. And so we try to tell you about the future. And what is the future? But the dwelling place for opportunity, for the opportunity for the happiness and success that you will have if you will prepare for it now. And you did. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob. You're the greatest, Bob. Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Something's happening. Here comes Sally Siegel. What?
Richard, I just come from the Eagle Screen.
Yes?
We found the statue of the lion on the school yard. I want to know who did it right now.
Uh-oh. What happened? Where's Mo? Jim Mo, come over here. Jim, this reporter lady has told us that someone has stolen the statue of a woman and a lion and it's appeared on the senior lawn. What do you know about this, Jim?
I know what you're saying. You suddenly become talking any story about lady lion. I really don't know anything about it.
Sure, Jim.
I didn't know anything about it when it happened.
Yes.
I was probably the second person to be surprised after Mr. Sutcliffe to see it the next morning.
Kelly would say that your life motto is deny everything. Is that right? That's right. Exactly right. All right, who else knows about this? Where's our illustrious president? Neil Johnson. Hi. Hello? Yes. Here was this young man, mild-mannered, quiet, a little pink to the cheeks. Any girl's mother would be happy to have him come over to take her on a date. What happened, Neil?
What happened, Richard?
Just tell me!
I had a great story to tell you about the best-looking woman and the best-looking lion Charlie Sutcliffe walking in front door, I knew there was no way it was going to get. He still holds my diploma. And if I were to tell you what I heard about and read about and saw the next day on that lawn, I would get my diploma tonight. I might get it.
You might get it.
I got my Letterman sweater tonight, and I want to get my diploma. But you know, one thing I do know is Richard Angelucci was on the scene.
Oh.
Hey, John, he's right behind me.
Yeah. Richard, where are you? Stand up. Do you know what happened, Richard?
You mean to all these people?
I'm talking about the lady in the lion.
Well, I was sitting at home one night, having a cup of coffee, talking to the waitress.
Story's breaking down already.
Didn't we all live at Bob's? And it was a dead Saturday night, and Neil came in with his isosceles triangle white with Von Dutch striping lying on his side. A pickup truck pulled in behind him. And he came running in. He said, Richard, there's a lady on a horse up on Glendale Boulevard. I said, what's her name? He said, Lady Godiva. I said, oh, did she go to Irving? He said, well, let's go see her. There's a naked lady on a horse. Maybe I should have two naked ladies by that time in my life. None of whom are here tonight. No, so he wanted to see the lady. He said, maybe we could have a double date. He said, I'll take the lady, you take the horse. We're using your car again tonight. But no, we all piled up to the pickup truck. It was a rainy night. The horse was on an embankment. Somebody whose truck it was, he probably still has it, backed it up right into the embankment, and we slid that lady in the line down on that truck. And from there, by the way, is the Fifth Amendment in I don't want one other swap from Mr. Roy's. That's the rest, you know, they left in the pickup truck, and then I went back to the Christian side of the room.
Eisenhower got a copy. Governor, whichever it was at the time, Senator, the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Queen of England, and the Pope in Rome. This is true. All got copies of this letter. So you guys really put Eagle Rock on the map, I gotta tell you. Did someone get a copy of that? Who did that go to? I thought you were giving it away. Next. Oh, really? Already? I thought we were going to Irwin. Where's Irwin? Irwin left. Irwin, I understand that you had a hard time learning the alphabet. Is that right?
And now, youngsters, surprised anyone remember that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. 30 years later, I figured all those letters out. My goal is now, next 30 years later, I put those things together and started spelling words. But, you know, a few days ago, what's the hell about? Oh, great. No, a few days ago, I got a packet from Washington, D.C., along with a letter with a request, or I should say the man to pass these letters out tonight. And it was rather appropriate because sometime back, Ethling called my wife and asked if I would volunteer for this ship on the Letterman's Club. And I think tonight my wife said, yeah, I will volunteer for it. So what I would like to do is ask all the letter men and letter women, please come up here.
All right, letter
Men and letter women. But about 30 years ago, every male who graduated from Eagle Rock High School in June of '57 worried about getting this letter. In this day and age, the women are all part of the group, so they all got one too. So let me read this letter we got from Washington. It has come to my attention that many of you have not had the opportunity to serve your country as members of the armed services. The Defense Department records indicate that because of your age, you were too young to serve in the Korean conflict and too old to serve in Vietnam. Further investigation indicates that you were members of Eagle Rock High School's Letter Persons Club. Boy, how things changed. 30 years ago, we were guys and gals, now we're persons. This obviously means that your athletic ability was proven, and you certainly must be a sound body and mind. Certainly in better shape than the other members of the Imperial class. As you know, the Armed Services is presently made up of volunteers who do not meet the standards of excellence as demonstrated by the alumni of the mighty Imperial class of Eagle Rock High School, 1957. Therefore, by the authority provided to me by Congress, on September 14, 1987, I have reinstituted the Selective Service Bureau, especially to the letter persons of the Imperial class. You will be receiving further instructions from the Department of Defense during the month of October. I, along with the rest of the nation, extend our gratitude to you for your past contributions to this great nation of ours, and for your projected unselfish contribution over the next 4 years. God bless America. Ronald Reagan, President of the United States. How about a hand for these folks who are further instructions?
As our program nears the end, I promise. All right, we have a few little prizes to give out for those of you who have, first of all, come the farthest to be here tonight. We have a tie, and Barry Smith is going to be our prize monitor tonight. Barry, can we hear you? Are you over there?
Hey, right.
All right. All right.
Okay, let me
The winners are, let's get up here first. Gene Bailey and Jerry Brighouse. Come on up here. Okay. Tim also, but you've been up enough, Tim, and you're going to do something later. Okay. All right, Jerry, you have the announcement about the prize?
Well, yes, we've got two.
Where's Gene? Hey, Gene, come on up here.
Well, there are some cousins here, about 50 miles apart. We're going to share this. We have a map for each of you, and you're going to share a pair of skates. And that's how you wait home.
We just, you came so far to here that we're going to provide your return transportation. Here are your roller skates and a map. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you. Where are you from?
Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Annapolis, Maryland.
Annapolis, Maryland. All right. Thank you. There's Leela. Hold it together. Hi, Leela's going to take their official picture. Yes. Didn't flash. Next time we'll have this picture. I meant for you. Okay, thank you, girls. Thank you. Well, you know, when they get to be a certain age, you start calling them girls again. Have you noticed that? I'm sorry. Ladies, thank you. Women, can't say ladies either. No. But thank you, brothers, for coming up here. All right. Next, we have, oh yes, the longest married. I think we all know who that is. Tom Napier, Vicky Stolas Napier, would you come up here? I bet you didn't know that we have a picture, a wedding photo of you that we're going to present to you tonight. Tried to tell us we're too young. How long have you been married? 3 years. And how many children? 4. And how many grandchildren? 5. Thank you. All right. Now, how many of you, would you all please stand up? Those of you who have had at least one child, one or more children, would you please stand up?